Five. All right.
Yes.
So, good morning, everybody. So those of you that follow Rosie know that she is on her cruise. I think she's in Spain today. I'm so jealous. But I couldn't wait for Rosie to get back to have Shirley Baez join us again on In the Zone, because we are so excited about some amazing news that she has. She has been just being a trailblazer since she retired. I mean, you have done so many things to set yourself up for opportunities, and it's starting, I really feel like it's starting to pay off based off of what I'm seeing from the outside. So Shirley, for the audience that missed your first interview on In the Zone, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into all the great news to share.
Absolutely. So good morning, Valerie. Good morning, Action Zone. Thank you so much for inviting me again here. Definitely, it's been such a humbling experience. I retired 2021 November. I did my transition all the way through COVID. So there was a lot of uncertainty and not going in person to kind of just go to your courses and really, out process and transition the way that we usually do it, right, in person. So it was a bit of a challenge, but I knew for me, I knew that I wanted to step into the next chapter of my life. And so I was very intentional about the steps that I was taking in order to set myself up for success, to transition. And that also has a lot to do with the veteran service organizations that helped me along, one of which is Action Zone. Definitely, Valerie, you and Rosie have been such a great support for me. You don't even know. And you are women that I look up to, right? Because at the end of the day, I want to transition out of the normal 9 to 5 into my, into my passion, which is building my business. And so I'm so happy that I'm here now. And yes, it's been a long road, but it's been an adventurous one. And like you said, I'm seeing different things opening up now, so it feels great.
Well, how humbling that you say you look up to us, because we follow you with so much pride. We just love watching everything that you're doing. You're just really building your next life,
Yes.
after the military. All right, so you have just published your first book.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So, tell us about that. Like, what was the inspiration, a little bit about the journey, and maybe any advice you have for someone who's looking to publish.
Oh my God. Well, yes, it was a heck of a ride, to say the least. So it all started, as an idea. As I was transitioning, I was thinking about writing a book on transition, because I was exposed to so many great resources and people that I know that if, service members that are transitioning would connect with them, they would also kind of relish in the goodness of having that mentorship and those resources. So I was like, well, I want to write a transitional book, but there's a lot of them out there, right? And so talking to one of my mentors, he was like, why don't you just write a book about, empowering women? I know where you're coming from, and, a lot of young women can look up to that, and you can kind of render some of your experiences. And I'm like, And then he was like, I can connect you with someone that's a publisher, and can help you and mentor you. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a plan, but it was just an idea. I didn't think that I was going to move forward or whatnot. So when I got connected to this gentleman, he actually had a write your book in 60-day challenge. And I was like, how about if I challenge myself to do it? Let me see if I could do it, right? And so myself and I think 20 or 30 other people that wanted to become authors started on this challenge. And every week we would get together, and he would kind of just walk us through how to properly write a book, how to properly make it synchronize, and all the different phases of like the hero's journey for book readers, right?
Mm.
And so I just started with that, and I just started really recording myself, journaling, brainstorming until it started coming together, and it started to tell a story, and I started getting inspired because my mind just started shifting from instead of me telling my own story, how about if I tell it to where in the eyes of maybe a potential young lady that's looking for inspiration or looking for an outlet or support system where she can start believing in herself again. And so I started writing it in that aspect, and it just kind of started flowing. And I tell you that out of, I think, the 25 or 30 of us that started that challenge, there was only 3 of us left that completed the challenge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so everything just started connecting. I felt so inspired because it wasn't even about me anymore. It was about me wanting to touch other people and help them through their journey or whatever they're going through. So that's kind of how everything kind of came about. And then, of course, the logistics of everything of publishing and designing your cover and editing. And it was a lot of fun, but I didn't know that it took so many things to actually get to a published product. But I learned so much from that, definitely.
That's great. So what's the title of the book, and how can folks get it?
Yes, so it's right here. This is the book. It's called Lead Your Ship, Unlock Your True Self, and Captain Your Ship Like a Boss. So I wanted to really target professional women, young women that need that support, that need that boost, that need to reinvent themselves and believe that they can really be whatever they want to be. Sometimes we stand in our own way of success, and sometimes we let outside environments, control how we think or how we go about doing things. And I think it should all start in the mind. When you believe in yourself, when you believe that you can do something, when you don't let anybody's, negative comments or non-believers get the best of you, that's when you thrive the most. When you don't think about anybody else but the value that you can bring to others, is kind of when you start just blooming. And that's what happened to me. A lot of my journey had to do with me looking for approval from others, right, at the beginning. And then when I really saw that despite anything, when I believe in myself and I can help others through that, I just started doing my thing. And now I see that so many things are open up just because I keep a positive mindset and a mindset of wanting to succeed and wanting to help others. So I hope that, it's a small read, but it's full of like my wisdom and like a lot of sentiment, because I know that other people have gone through what I've gone through, and it hasn't been easy. So when you start really looking within, things will sow without, right? So it's kind of like one of those things, and I just hope that a lot of people that do get it really take the time to read it. It has notes inside, because I want people to really reflect and meditate and write, their thoughts and feelings when they read a chapter.
That's awesome. And are you going to have another book signing anytime soon?
So I am planning to. It's in the near future, but what I'm doing right now is that I'm working with a couple of the Barnes and Noble branches so that they can purchase the book in consignment and sell it at their bookstore. And so I've already about to sign a contract with the Barnes and Noble in Carrollwood, so that they can carry a couple of my copies there. It's also on Amazon. It's just a click away, really quick, and you find it. But definitely want to work with local bookstores to see if they can carry some of my books.
That's awesome. So after you've finished this one, you have another book that you're going to be a contributing writer to. It's just
Yes,
snowballing, right?
it's crazy. Yes, it's one of those things that opportunities are just opening up. And when you see that, you have to seize it, right? You have to seize the opportunity. So because of that, and because I'm also in groups of other, women that are entrepreneurs and go-getters, right? I got invited to contribute to another book, and it's called Powerful Female Immigrants. And it's a compilation of stories of women that came to the United States without knowing the language, without having any resources, with anything, and just starting from scratch and building up. And so I was a contributing co-author for that. And this week, actually, we're going to all fly into Dallas to the publishing studio, and they're going to be interviewing us live there. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, how exciting. That is wonderful. We are so proud of you, and just thrilled, of all these opportunities that are popping up as a result of your hard work, of a lifetime, really.
Thank you. And it's so crazy because sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing as much, but at the same time, I just love what I'm doing, and I think that when you just love what you're doing, you don't feel like you're working, right?
Right.
But definitely I would tell a lot of the veterans out there that we have so much potential to just, create our own economies, right? And create our own world. Of our ideal vision of what we want to be. We don't necessarily have to go into the 9 to 5, even though I'm in the 9 to 5 now, but I already establishing a plan to transition out of that, and a lot has to do with the mindset, because sometimes we feel like we're going to be missing something or we're going to lack monetarily, but we're planners, right? We're planners, we're doers, and we have the discipline to forge forward.
Yeah, and I appreciate that wisdom and that advice, because in my work, I've been in Tampa Bay since 2011, and I've been working with veterans since I retired in 2014. And the fear, the imposter syndrome fear, really kind of set some people back. And I mean, I struggle even with it sometimes. I'm just like, what am I doing? And why am I doing it? So just have to get out of my own head too. So I guess I need to read your book.
Yes, absolutely. But that's understandable. But again, it's like when we put it on us that this is our mission because we deserve more, right? We deserve more. And a lot of them I understand because they have their families, but there's nothing that you can't do when you put your mind to it. You have to work hard, definitely. You're not going to get anything easy in life at all. But you work hard and then you reap the benefits. And now is that I see that things are kind of coming along, and I have to just be great, have some grace to say, well, I did the work. I stayed up late a lot of times. I went to networking events back to back, and where people were looking at me like, another one, Shirley, you're just in that computer. But I knew that I wanted something more, right? And so now I can kind of see that. But definitely get my book, Valerie. That's I hope to do so.
Yeah, and you've been asked to put in an application to be a speaker at Military Influencer Conference. Super competitive platform to be selected as a speaker. So we'll be pulling for you for sure. And I'll drop the link not only to your book, but also to Military Influencer Conference in the chat when we get done. It will be in Vegas again this year at Resorts World in October.
It's going to be October, yes.
Yeah, yeah, October. So we'll be crossing our fingers for that one.
Yeah, I did it. I was pondering about it, but I'm like, yes, I want to start putting the story out there. So I went ahead and applied. So thank you so much for the
Yeah, we'll
support.
see how it goes.
Yes.
Well, listen, I know you have to get off to a meeting. So I really appreciate your willingness to give us some time this morning so that we can celebrate you on In the Zone. Just if you're watching us, you guys need to keep watching Shirley Baez because she is on fire, doing amazing things. So proud of you.
Thank you so much, Valerie. And thank you to Rosie and thank you to Roz. Thank you, Action Zone. You guys are still doing such an amazing job and touching a lot of people like you wouldn't even believe. And a lot of people, I've been telling them about Action Zone and how great of a program it is. And they're very interested in seeing what, if they can join you on the next cohort or subsequent cohort. So, but thank you so much.
I appreciate that. And that perfect segue to applications, because we have another cohort that starts May 6th. So they can put in applications. We're super excited about it. And it will be a great way to get started on your business through the summer. When the kids are out of school and you've got maybe some time to focus on yourself and your business. So yes, please let everybody know applications are being accepted right now.
Yes.
Okay. All right, my friend, I can't wait to see you in person, hopefully sometime soon, and have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you, Valerie.
Bye, Action Zone people.